Hello, everyone. We're live again with Sonia Elhaj coaching. Sonia here, certified coactive coach and founder of the Free Butterfly Tribe here on Facebook. Let me know when you are online. If anyone is online, send a comment or hello or something. All right. So thank you again, those who joined us last week live. That was wonderful. We talked about perfectionism, and I keep getting comments and messages and things like that, and it's been really nice to get that feedback. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section, or if you don't want to do it publicly, you can always send me a message on the page here at Sonia Elhaj coaching. So let's dive into our topic. You will see me looking this way from time to time. It's because I want to make sure that I cover everything that I have planned to cover. So, our topic. Hi, I can see some of you online. Great. Thank you, Amanda. I hope so too. Topic: chains versus wings. So, what do I mean by this? I'm going to focus first on chains. I'm going to focus more on chains because that's what really, poses a real problem for us, human beings. We navigate our lives and we live our lives with a set of ideas, beliefs, statements, things we say to ourselves, etc., that create our reality, that create the way we interact with the world. And this has the potential to make or break our lives. So that's what we're talking about today. So I call these sets of beliefs and ideas and statements either chains or wings. So let's focus more on chains right now. So where do they come from? These beliefs, ideas, statements, etc. Some people, call them saboteurs, limiting beliefs, nasty voices, negative voices, whatever you call them. It's pretty much the same thing. Chains, what I would call chains, is what really limits us, really keeps us chained, keeps us, drags us back, and doesn't allow us to live our lives fully. Usually these they happen throughout our upbringing as children. We inherit beliefs and truths, a set of truths from parents that are maybe too tough sometimes, or who are too demanding, or who don't know how to give us unconditional love. And we grow up with these limitations. Throughout our lives, they become reinforced by environmental factors, people outside of us, for example, from a spouse, a teacher, a manager. Some people sometimes are quite toxic, and they can tell us that we're not good enough, we're not doing enough, they don't appreciate us, they may be abusive to us, etc., etc. So these factors and these people outside of ourselves may reinforce these chains, these thoughts and ideas. And to the point that they actually become internalized. We confuse them with who we are, with our truth. They become internal to us. We adopt them. We accept them as our reality. And in fact, they are not our reality. They are not true. So we get to a point where we confuse them with who we truly are. Okay. So I would call these chains because they keep us back, they drag us back, they keep us limited, and they don't allow us to live our truth. They don't allow us to be who we are meant to be in our full potential, in our full greatness. And that's what we are meant for and created for. Okay, so let's now move on to the next part. And I want to distinguish between two kinds of chains, what I would call chains, internal ones and external ones. Internal ones. So let's say, let me give you a situation here. Everybody has a dream. You have a dream, at least one. Think about that dream. For many of us, sometimes even unfortunately for most of us, when we think about a big dream of ours, we tend to have thoughts like, who do I think I am to really even think about this? Or I am not as, and then fill in the blank, as so-and-so, someone else. So for example, I am not as rich, wealthy. I'm not as young. I'm not as lucky. I'm not as, worthy. I'm not as skilled. I'm not as experienced. I don't have as much money, etc. Other thoughts come up, these chains come up, and they say to us, I am not ready, or I failed once, and I should stop trying. And we may say to ourselves, what are people going to think? Or what are people going to say about me if I do this, if I try this? So those are some examples of internal chains or voices that may come up when we think about our dreams, or what we want to do, or what we want to achieve, or when we want to reach a level of fulfillment and happiness in our lives. Okay, so, and I will add another example and go a little bit more in depth into this. I'll use my own example. External chains. Now, these are beliefs, ideas, statements, so things that I call chains that limit us and that come from outside of us. So it's the environment. It's the conversations that people keep having around you and with you, and the things people will tell you. So for example, I'll use me and this video, for example, or developing my coaching practice, or reaching larger audiences, which is part of my dream and part of what makes me really, 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 really happy. So for example, some of the external voices or chains I may run into are things like people would say, everyone is doing this, it's not a good idea. You should and you shouldn't, and then we go into the shoulds and should nots and must, and it's not gonna work. Or we may run into what I would say is our examples of external chains are judgments. So I'll give you an example. Last week, after I did my first live stream, I had lots and lots and lots of amazing feedback, and I'm so happy. And that is allowing me to really, really already live my dream. So it's not that far, actually. It's you can do this with every little step. So I'll go back to external chains. So when I was after I did that, I got a lot of great feedback, and of course 1% of it is always something like, oh, you're promoting your coaching, as if that's something bad to do. And of course, this is part of my message. My coaching is a gift and a skill, and of course I'm going to promote it. It's the best message I can give, and the best service I can give to the universe, to the world. So these kind of judgments, for example, that are not aligned with what you want, how you're serving the world, how you're impacting the world, what kind of love you're giving out there into the world. Negativity, any kind of negativity that comes from people. So again, I'm going to summarize quickly with external chains. These are environmental factors, things that people may tell you, like, oh, everyone is doing this, don't do it, it's not going to work, you should do this instead, you should do that instead. And judgment, Oh, you are doing this and you shouldn't be, or maybe you should have a PowerPoint, or these are examples from my own live streaming that I chose to do, or do this instead, or maybe you should be less informal, or whatever. So yeah, so anything that takes you out of your own center, your own authenticity, what you want to do, pretty much. It's very simple, really. Any kind of toxicity that comes to you from people is an example of external chains, I would say. For example, blame, criticism, defensiveness, attack, contempt. Hi guys. Everyone is doing that. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah, we have these chains every day, every single day. We run into them. I have them too, and they will never stop. The trick is to become aware of them, and then start, trying different tools to change our reality, and to change and to choose what voices to listen to. Okay, so again, my example would be me and this live streaming. I started last week and I'm really, really happy. I couldn't be happier. This for me is part of living my dream. It's a step towards it. It makes me feel fulfilled, etc., etc. So some internal, I gave some internal some examples of internal chains, and then some examples of external chains as they relate to this example of mine. There are all kinds of examples. I'm gonna just brainstorm. I'm just gonna blurt a few of them. Like, oh, you're too old for this, or you don't have the right nationality, or you don't have enough money, or I am not good enough. It's that enoughness, It's always like, oh, I'm not deserving. It's not gonna work. Why would I bother? So okay. So I want to say something good actually about my own example with live streaming, which is that 1% was external chains, but 99% was very, very positive alignment with the world around me. That was really, really obvious in the reaction or the response of that people are giving me. And by the way, I want to say two things about chains. Usually, number one, when you are working on yourself, when you are doing inner work, and you are going for your dreams, or trying to evolve, or better your life, or improve your life, or improve your relationship, when you are close to a breakthrough, when you are close, very, very close to making a shift, to changing, these chains kind of become stronger. They start kind of pulling you back, and that's kind of a sign that you are doing the right thing. Yeah, because they're your best friends. You're used to them and they're used to you. They're not going to leave you alone. So they will always try to kind of hold you back, and restrict you. So it's really, really your choice, and up to you to become aware of them, and really take charge. I wanted to say something else. Yes, when number two, when these things come up, chains, internal and external. And this is what's happening, with me and anybody else who's going for their dreams. It's a sign it's a question from the universe, from the order, the divinity, or the divine timing, or whatever you believe in, that, or from the general divine wisdom. It's like a question. Do you still believe in this? Yeah. And if you are truly, truly sure and aligned with what you want, with your dream, you will keep going, and you will say, yes, heck yes, this is for me. This is what I want to do. Absolutely. And no chains will stop me. No chains are stronger than my dream. Okay, so let's move forward. So how can we recognize chains and wings? How can we recognize these voices or ideas, beliefs, statements as chains rather than reality? And I was asked this question a while ago, over a year ago, and it was an amazing question. Someone asked me, how do I know how to, differentiate between what my values are and what my chains are or something? The answer is very, very simple. And it's one word. It's feeling. Our feelings are our best guide. Okay, our feelings are very connected to our intuition. They're keys to our soul, and they allow us to very quickly tap into what is of service to us, what is serving us, and what is in dissonance and is blocking us and our freedom and our truth. If that statement, that belief, that idea is feeling yucky, wrong to me, just in my core, inside of me, it feels wrong. It just feels wrong. It doesn't have to be wrong for someone else, for my coach or for my mother or for my friend or for my boss. If it feels wrong, it is wrong for you. If it feels heavy, if it feels dissonant, it doesn't make your heart smile. It doesn't make you feel good. It feels far away from your center, from what makes you fulfilled and centered and balanced and strong and powerful. If it feels awful, if it feels limiting, it's very simple. It's limiting. It's a chain. It's limiting you. Yeah, it's not allowing you to live freely and to live your full truth. So, okay, so that's how you recognize them, and it's very simple. Okay, so before we move on, thank you guys who are here and who just commented. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please ask by message or here in the comments. So now, next section or next part before our last part. So the next part is, how do we deal with this? We all are walking around, navigating through life with these chains that, these ideas and these beliefs and these things that we keep, like broken records that we keep playing to ourselves, and we just kind of allow them to be there. And they really, really make our lives miserable, and they don't allow us to be happy. They don't allow us to tap into our best self, our strongest self. So let's talk about that quickly. So for internal chains, so these are the voices in our head that tell us, who do you think you are? No, this is not for me. This is, I'm not good enough for this, or, etc. So that the internal ones, okay, that we use to kind of keep ourselves chained. Very simple. I'm going to use kind of a parallel or metaphor, or whatever you want to call it. I want you to, for the next week, starting tomorrow, become aware of what's happening when these internal chains come up. And like, these may be thoughts that cross your mind. These, of course, are coming from our brain. The brain plays tricks on us and it limits us. When these thoughts come through your head, I want you to catch the thought and ask yourself this question. If my own best friend or someone I love or I care about really, really, really deeply came to me to talk to me about their dream, a dream that they care about, it means the world to them, it means everything to them. They want to do something, they want to be something, and they trust me. They come to me and they say, oh, I have this dream, and they're looking for support. Would you tell them those things that you allow yourself to play in your head? So, would you tell your friend or your loved one, who do you think you are to have this dream? You are not as good as so-and-so who did that. You don't deserve this. You're not ready. You failed once or twice or whatever, how many times. So you should stop trying. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't go for it. You shouldn't even dream. And would you tell your friend or loved one, what are people gonna say about you? What are they gonna think about you? So if you would say these, I mean, this is my question. Would you say these things to someone you love, you care about? If they wanted to talk to you about something that they, that they were dreaming about or something that made them happy. If you are a normal person with a minimum amount of empathy and decency, the answer would be no, of course not. I would want to make that person feel the best they can feel, I would want to support them. At least if I cannot, help them, I would listen to them. I would encourage them. I would be there for them. So my question is, why are you doing this to yourself then? Why? Yeah? So for this week, every day, stay aware of those chains, internal chains, when they come up. And as soon as they come up, the thought comes up, or the idea or the statement that you're telling yourself, you're not good enough. Would you say that to your best friend or loved one? If you wouldn't, then stop right there and realize, okay, this is not true. This is not serving me, and I shouldn't even have this thought. Thank that thought and let it go. Brush it off. Okay. All right. So try that for this week. Now, for external chains, this is the stuff that people tell us: judgments, negativity. You shouldn't do this. Everyone is saying it. Everyone is doing this. You shouldn't try. Toxicity, judgment, contempt, attack, etc., etc., etc. Pointless criticism, judgment from people. For this, I would suggest a metaphor. Okay, so bear with me as I explain this. I want you to imagine yourself in your own house. Okay, your house is your sanctuary. Of course, it's very important to you. And I am sure that in your house, you wouldn't allow anyone or anything because that's your refuge. You want to protect that house and you want to keep it clean and in perfect shape. So imagine someone knocks on your door and wants to come in. You open the door and that person has a big, bag of trash and says, oh, I really need this, space, a place to put this. Would you allow them in? Let's say you do, and they go in and put it in. And then, next thing you know, the next person is knocking on your door because they know you're the person who accepts trash to their home. So they will come in and they will give you a big, cardboard box full of, I don't know, decomposing bodies of dead animals. Yeah, and you would take it because you want to be nice. Yeah, because someone else has given it to you, so you take it. And then you keep it inside your house. And then, by the end of the week or the month, you end up with a house full of crap, sorry. Yeah. And what kind of shape would you be in? And what kind of hygiene and what kind of energy would you end up with? So think about it. Think about it. That house would be full of trash, toxicity, stench, and it wouldn't be somewhere you want to live in. So now here's my metaphor to you. You have an energetic space, an energetic realm, a spiritual realm, space where you live in. That's your home. Okay, that's your spiritual or energetic refuge. It's not the house, the physical house you live in, but that's the life you live in. Would you let any rubbish in there? Would you want to fill it with rubbish? The answer, again, if you're a normal person, would be no, of course not. I don't want to fill my house with trash. So my question is to you again, why do you allow that trash into your energetic space? How come? How come you take all of that toxicity and judgment and those external chains and you allow them to just chain you, to just drag you back? Yeah. So think about this, and I want for you for the next week also to stay aware of external chains. And every time they come up, every time you know someone is trying to throw toxicity at you, a judgment at you, a limiting belief at you, a chain, they want to drag you back from what keeps you fulfilled, from what keeps you respected, and you know, what gives you self-love, is to just stop right there and ask yourself, is this serving me? Am I allowing trash into my home? Yeah, if yes, stop. Do not answer the door. Close the door and protect your house. That's your energy. And it's very, very, very important. Okay? So those were the two tools that I would highly recommend for internal and then external chains. And I hope you would try those during the next week. So we have just about 5 minutes left. This is going really well. I'm going to move on to the very, very last part, which is wings. So just like we have chains, internal and external, and when we create awareness with, you know, of those chains, and we start you know, flipping them, getting rid of them, you know, letting them go, new space is created, fresh space, free space. And when we create that space, we want to fill it with something useful, something that aligns with our dreams, with what we want, with what we truly want, what makes us fulfilled, what makes us free, what makes us happy, what makes us feel loved and self-loving. So, so wings, there's a lot of work that can be done, of course, on this. But what I will suggest today is something that you can do again for the week. So every night, here's what I suggest. I want you to journal. Journaling means writing freely. But in this case, I don't want to overwhelm you with a big journaling task, especially for the ones of you who are not into writing that much. What I will give you is 7 questions, 1 for each night. And I'm going to read the questions quickly for you. I'm going to go over them for you. And then I will write them at the end of the video in the comments, so you can have a look at them. So these questions are really a beginning, a way to create that freedom, replace those chains with wings. What do I mean by that? Wings are what will allow you to free yourself, free your true self, your great self, your full potential to be revealed. Okay, after you kind of get rid of those, you know, chains, you know, gradually, little by little. Okay, so here are the questions. Number 1, what do I truly want? Write 10 things. Keep it simple. 10 things. Number 2, write 10 self-acknowledgements. What do I mean by that? Acknowledgements are ways for you to recognize yourself, to thank yourself, to acknowledge yourself. For example, they can be very simple. You don't have to be a perfectionist, remember? You have to allow yourself to just be who you are and just recognize the good in you. And good doesn't have to be extraordinary. You know, whatever makes you human. So, for example, I don't know, I'm a good listener. I make a great paella dish. I'm very good at PowerPoint. I don't know. I love my family. I'm a great friend. You know, I put together very nice bouquets of flowers. By the way, I didn't make this. So 10 self-acknowledgements. Okay, if you go over 10, fine, go for it. It's fine. One time I remember a coach of mine asked me to write 100 acknowledgements, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this ever? And it just works, it just flows, you know. It's just we're not used to loving ourselves and thanking ourselves. We're always judging ourselves and evaluating ourselves, and that's not where we create our freedom and our dreams. That's not where we do that. Okay, so number 3, who am I? Who do I become? Who is revealed when who am I without my internal chains and my external chains? Who am I? Yeah, when we take all of those out, like away, you know, you just free yourself of those. Who are you? Okay, all right, write 10 things again, 10 things for each. Number 4, list 10 successes, old or recent, old or new, it's fine. In your personal life or your career, it's fine, anything. They can be very small, you know. Maybe you learned how to write an email, a professional email, and you're really, really happy with it. You're so happy with it. Recognize that, acknowledge yourself for that. Anything small is actually not small. It's a step in the right direction. Number 5, I want you to list, so this is the 5th night, I want you to list 10 toxic people, relationships, things, or habits that you are willing to let go of. Bye-bye. Not needed. Thank you very much. You let them go with love. Okay? And number 6, question. What makes me fulfilled and happy? Okay? Fulfillment means satisfaction, contentment, that feeling of happiness. It's peaceful happiness. Okay, so write 10 things. And then last one, 7th, what needs to change in my life to set me free? Okay, 10 things that need to change. They can be, again, small, they can be big, whatever. It's fine. Don't overthink it, let it flow. Allow it to happen. And yeah, so before I say bye-bye, I'm gonna see, thank you, Manda. I'm gonna see if there are any questions. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Reem, Abdurrahman. Thank you, everyone. I cannot see all comments because some of them are going up. Thank you. Thank you, Khulud, Kholi. Yeah, thank you everybody who joined. I don't see any questions, but please feel free to reach out, you know, write comments, ask questions, ask questions for next time. Maybe, you know, I'm sure your questions will inspire me for topics in the future as well. And I would love to hear about what you care about. Okay. Wow, we really went over time by 3 minutes and counting. Okay, I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too. Today we talked about chains, what I call chains. And they are the beliefs, statements, and ideas that are not true and that we allow into our lives to chain us, to keep us back, and to restrict us and block us from becoming who we truly are at our best, and to reach our full potential. I suggested 2 tools for internal voices or chains. I am suggesting a question. Would you say this to your best friend or loved one? If not, then stop saying it to yourself. Catch and just, okay, no, this is not true. This is abusing myself, so I'm not going to do this to myself. Yeah. The second one for external voices was the house metaphor. Would you allow your house to be invaded with trash bags and dirt and, you know, crap? So stay aware of external chains, toxicity, judgments, and things like that people throw at you, and stay aware of the energetic home that you have around you, and make sure that you don't allow that trash into your energetic home. And then we mentioned wings, and wings are your strengths, your values, your successes, your dreams. your vision, and whatever makes you at your best. And we all have wings. It's just about allowing them to grow and to just spread, okay, so that we can free ourselves. So I'm going to leave you with today's belief. I want you to spend the next week. I really, really do hope that you try some of the homework, either journaling or whatever you want to try. And I want to leave you with the belief that you are free. You are born free and you are free. So spread those wings, and until next time, try to live with that belief for 1 week and see what happens and how things change for you. And until next time, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you. Oh, nice comments. Thank you, guys. So I will see you next time, and looking forward to it. Yeah, have a great evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye, guys. Thank you.